President Trump says a 5% tariff on imports from Mexico will be put into effect next week if that country doesn't step up their efforts to stem the flow of migrants trying to cross the border into the U.S. Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Chairman Matt Mackowiak and constitutional attorney Justin Nelson. Gentlemen, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Matt Mackowiak, is the president doing the right thing here? Is this going to work?
So I'm really of two minds about this. I'm not a fan of tariffs. Mexico is hugely important, not just to the U.S. economy, but to the Texas economy. That said, you have to look at it from the president's perspective for a second. You had 1,000 people apprehended in El Paso, I think just last week, the largest group of people at one time. He's made a very reasonable, non-border wall, $4 billion request for humanitarian aid to help process these individuals who are coming in at record levels in the southern border, and the Democrats are doing nothing to help him. There's a disaster supplemental on the floor in the House literally as we speak while they're on vacation that could easily include that money, and DHS far more resources to handle that population. Look, I don't like the idea of using trade policy to affect immigration policy. I think that's not a good standard that we should have. He wants to obviously affect Mexico's behavior. He wants Mexico to shut down their southern border where so many people are coming in, and he wants Mexico to do a better job on the northern border too. So we've got to do something. I hope that the summit on Wednesday leads to both sides bringing this back, not instituting this 5% tariff, and we can move forward.
Justin Nelson, what do you make of this move by the president?
Well, it's economic warfare, and it's going to hurt Texas. I mean, this is another example of how Donald Trump's values are out of step with the values of the vast majority of Texans and economists from across the political spectrum. What we're going to see is higher prices paid by American consumers. And it's not just me who's saying that. It's economists from the right and the left. The member of the Council of Economic Advisors from President George W. Bush has said that a tariff on Mexico like this is effectively a tariff on Texas. And it's just not right. I, of course, agree that we need to do something to make sure that we're solving the humanitarian crisis on the southern border. But linking tariffs with trade is something that is literally unprecedented. It has not happened before, and it's wrong, and we should not link the two. Again, this is not just me. Across the political spectrum, you have Republican senators like Charles Grassley saying it as well. All
righty. Matt Mackowiak, is this the case of the president simply running out of options on how to handle immigration?
Yeah, I mean, it is. He's impatient. He's tired of waiting. The Democrats in Congress are not making any real progress. Of course, they control the House. And he looks at the news and he sees that we're seeing record numbers of people try to enter illegally, and the problem is going to get worse. And so he likes tariffs because he can just put them on. He doesn't need Congress to approve them. He doesn't need to ask anyone's permission. Now, in this put them on. He's basically said he's going to, I think in a few days, we have this summit on Wednesday in Washington between the U.S. and Mexico, and hopefully they can come to an agreement and prevent the tariffs from going in place. It starts at 5%, it goes up 5% all the way to 25% every single month going forward. I agree, this would be bad for the Texas economy. The hope is Mexico can do more, and we can avoid the tariffs altogether.
Justin Nelson, what would your prescription be for the president and what steps he should be taking?
There's got to be cooperation, and it's not just cooperation with Mexico, it's cooperation with Congress. This is the Constitution. The Constitution, under Article 1, Section 8, says that Congress has the ability and the power to impose duties and tariffs. And it is not just Donald Trump who's in charge of the government. It is the government with Article 1 of Congress and Article 2 with the President, and it must be working together on this. But most importantly, we have to get to the point where we're not declaring economic warfare, because Texas is going to be the first casualty. We should not be punching ourselves in the face to achieve a goal that we should be able to achieve through cooperation.
Can I say one last thing? I think timing this when these tariff increases while he's trying to get the U.S., Mexico, Canada trade deal passed, that's not great timing. Let's get the trade deal passed. Let's hope the Democrats in Congress put it on the floor and it'll pass.
Okay, more to come, as they say. Justin, Matt, thank you both very much.